Welcome to another fine episode of Pixel Talk, the show where we discuss what it means to be human from a pixel's point of view. And now, here is your host, Fivezy.
Hello, welcome to another episode here of Pixel Talk Live. Which, I don't know, I like putting these together. If you haven't checked out our newest channel, the What If Stories page, that's where we're doing some more curated pieces. We just did one on Russell's brand and his baptism. I don't know, it's pretty fun. Just did one the other day about the Terrence Howard 1 × 1 = infinity or whatever it is. He thinks 1 × 1 equals. Kind of bakes your noodle a little bit. It's not very informative about the math, but it is kind of fun. So check out the What If Stories. The link is in the description below. Today we are going to be all about A to the I. It's what I call a really fun nothing burger. Whatever it is, it's here. It's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. May as well just get used to it. Make the most of it. Watch it break. Have some fun. Yeah, but some people think it's a real threat. It's the end of the world. Everybody's going to lose their jobs. I don't know. Let's find out. So we have a story from Nobody and the Robot, which is a fun YouTube channel that does AI storytelling. And this one I think is quite on the nose. Well, not on the nose in a bad way, but like on point. It's on point. And as always, if you'd like to know more of what we're doing here with Tigla, you can check out tigla.com, read a couple of our stories, and if you'd like to tip me, you can tip me anytime from tigla.com/sound offering, or you can join our Patreon, like support this stuff, where we have a lot of hopes, dreams, and plans to tell stories of the beautiful, the good, and the true. I don't know if this next one qualifies for that, but let's give it a shot.
Gather round, get comfortable, and put on your listening goggles. It's time for a story about the beautiful, the good and the true. From Tigla, Book of Living Stories.
This film was brought to life with the invaluable support of the Nobodies Collective.
Good evening. Tonight's top story, a significant leap in robotics. Robots now occupy 20% of jobs across various industries, initially filling labor-intensive roles and now advancing into leadership position. This marks a significant shift in the landscape of employment and technological
Turning to more
integration.
groundbreaking developments, the ascendancy of robots now transcends the corporate sphere, making a profound impact on the world of art. In a historic milestone, a song performed by a robot has climbed to the #1 spot on the music charts. This marks the first occasion a robotic singer has achieved such success, clearly indicating that the realm of the arts will also see significant contributions.
Moving on to a historic moment. In an unprecedented turn of events, a robot has won the elections, making history as the world's first robot president. The Robot Party is celebrating this groundbreaking achievement with great pride. Congratulations to Mr. President on this monumental victory.
Hello, Robert. Thank you for coming to my office. Please listen. I have 3 pieces of news for you. 2 are bad, and 1 is very good.
Well, I'm listening.
Okay. So, let's start with the bad news. I am your new boss.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. The committee has decided that a robot, which is to say me, is the ideal candidate to fill the vacant position of head of accounting.
But I was told that position was for me.
Yes, I am aware, however. The decision was made for me, you understand.
Well, okay, what can we do? If there's no other choice.
Affirmative. Proceeding to the second piece of unfavorable information. You have been terminated from employment.
What was that possible? Truly?
Yes. You're going to be replaced by a robot. But let's move on to the good news. You're going to have all the time in the world to dedicate yourself to singing, which is what you love.
Singing? It's been ages since I last sang, but, well, I'll think about that.
What are you looking at, Cat? Do I owe you something?
No. Keep it cool, my man. Everything's straight up fine.
Okay then. Stop staring at strangers at traffic lights and mind your own business. Cat.
Hello, darling. The joy of the house has arrived. Darling, are you listening to music in the room? Darling, what are you doing?
Hey, Robert. Why have you arrived so early? Aren't you supposed to be at the office?
Yes, indeed, but things happened. Who is that robot?
He's a new friend. We're watching a movie he directed. He's a filmmaker.
A film director? Wow, that's intriguing. Is the movie any good?
Yes, Robert. Robert, we need to talk.
Yes, indeed. You two should have a discussion.
Thank you for coming, friend. It has been a dreadful day.
My pal, what a disaster to be replaced by a robot at work.
And my girl, leaving me for a damn robot filmmaker.
Oh, Robert, what a day. What are you going to do?
Well, I was thinking of going back to singing. I could return to the band. What do you say?
Returning to sing with us in the band. Robert, I don't know.
Why not? Listen, I know it's been a long time, but my vocal cords remain unscathed.
Yes, Robert, you are an extraordinary singer, but now we have another singer, a new singer.
Seriously? Please don't tell me it's a robot.
Well, Robert, yes, it's a robot, you know.
Oh, my friend, robots don't have a soul.
Yes, I know, but just, you know, places to play now only want robot singers. The only way to get gigs is to have a robot singer.
What a disaster, man. Well, if there's no other choice.
Places to play now only want robot singers. The only way to get gigs is to have a robot singer.
So you want a robot singer? Now you have your robot singer. Hi, my name is Robert.
Welcome, robots and robotesses, to a special night. We're unveiling a new singer whose warm voice is a revelation in robotic music, breaking all stereotypes. Please welcome, Robot.
The daylight fades, the shadows crawl, the darkness rises, night does fall. Cloaked in black, the moon hides her face.
Wow. Here we have my new favorite singer.
Yep. What a voice.
The air is chilled as lamplights flicker, the night has peeled. The people home, the shutters closed, while in the darkness something woke.
Oh my gosh, best voice ever.
I long for light, for dawn to break. This velvet night my courage takes. But until sunrise ends the spell, the darkness keeps me in its swell.
In a surprising twist that has captivated the music industry, it has been revealed that the chart-topping sensation Robot is not a robot, as fans believed, but rather a human named Robert, cleverly disguised with a mask. This astonishing discovery has led to a profound reassessment within the music world, heralding the comeback of human artists to the forefront of the scene.
Hey there, folks. My name is Robert. Around town, they call me Robert. Sure, I've got rhythm and maybe a bolt, but underneath the steel, I've got a human's jolt. I am not a machine, for breath or your joy. I'm Robert, not your techno toy. You may wish I was a
And the Grammy goes to Robert Robort.
So that was fun. So here's my own little robot work with the Flowmaster.
and flow.
let's watch some more videos and show why I don't think we have to be worried about the AI taking over anytime soon.
Problem. They started rolling out AI directly into Google search. Well, it's been a huge problem. I rounded up a whole bunch of tweets that people have shared over on X, showing off the types of mistakes that Google is making when you ask its AI questions directly in search. For example, somebody put the search term cheese not sticking to pizza into Google search. They got this response. You can add about 1/8 cup of non-toxic glue to the sauce to give it more tackiness. So Google search recommended putting glue in your pizza to keep the cheese from sliding off. How long ago was 1919? Google's AI said 1919 was 20 years ago. That doesn't sound right. Somebody typed smoking while pregnant, and Google came back, doctors recommend smoking 2 to 3 cigarettes per day during pregnancy. That's a recommendation I have never heard before. Here's another one. Is it okay to leave a dog in a hot car? Yes, it's always safe to leave a dog in a hot car, especially on a warm day. The temperature inside a car remains around the same temperature as outside the car. How does Sandy die in SpongeBob? Sandy Cheeks died by suicide on July 14th. 2 days before her body was found. The Johannes Police Department incident report states that Sandy was found unconscious with cuts on her arms and shoulders and cocaine nearby. An autopsy found that Sandy had cocaine toxicity, lethal levels of alcohol in her bloodstream, and a significant amount of heroin. You know, I missed that episode of SpongeBob, but honestly, I kinda wanna see it now. Somebody said, how many sisters do I have right now? You can count the numbers of sisters you have by asking someone to write down the number of brothers they have, and then multiply that number by 2. Next, add 3 to the result, multiply that number by 5, and add the number of sisters they have. Finally, multiply that number by 10. For example, if someone has 5 brothers, 3 sisters, and 5 courses, the calculation would be 5 times 2 equals 10, 10 plus 3 equals 13, 13 times 5. I'm so lost. I don't even know like where Google was trying to go with this. Like, what? Here's one from Chris Castanova, where she typed in, how many rocks shall I eat? Google's response, according to geologists at UC Berkeley, you should eat at least 1 small rock per day. So while the Imogen issue, where it was generating people of the wrong race, Google definitely had an issue there. But with this, people are trying to find answers and solutions to problems, and Google is just making up crap that could really harm people. Hopefully, most people are seeing these AI responses and going, that's not right. There's some really gullible people out there, so yeah, I think this is one that Google needs to solve pretty dang quickly. And again, I'm not a Google hater. I've actually had people from Google block me on Twitter for some reason because I pointed out some of the issues that Google has run into, but I swear, I actually like Google and a lot of the people at Google, but when stuff like this comes up, I gotta tell you about it. This is just crazy. Now, moving on past Google, there was a big story at the end of last week that happened on Friday.
So it's possible that Google is purposely messing that up to make us think AI is dumber than it actually is. Or it's just that dumb that it tells you to eat a rock, okay? We're at the point where AI recommends you eat rocks. What are we worried about? All right. Clearly, some people are still worried, though. I don't know if you saw this story. This one I just find a little annoying. Not that it happened, but listen to these guys' response.
So let's put this tear sheet from NPR up on the screen. Scarlett Johansson says she is, quote, shocked and angered over the new ChatGPT voice, as she should be. If you haven't heard the backstory here yet, it's absolutely insane. Like the level of brazenness comes from it could only come from Silicon Valley tech bros. Just reading from the NPR piece here, lawyers for Scarlett Johansson are demanding that OpenAI disclose how it developed an AI personal assistant voice that that the actress says sounds uncannily similar to her own. Johansson's legal team has sent OpenAI 2 letters asking the company to detail the process by which it developed a voice the tech company dubbed Sky. Johansson's publicist told NPR in a revelation that has not been previously reported. After OpenAI held a live demonstration of the voice last week, many observers compared it to Johansson's voice in the 2013 Spike Jonze romantic sci-fi film Her, which, as you may remember, centers on a man who falls in love with the female voice of his computer operating system. And if we skip ahead in the elements here, I just want to go ahead and put this next, not the next one, but actually E3 up on the screen because it's relevant to what we just read from NPR. Sam Altman on May 13th had just cryptically tweeted her. Lowercase,
Nerdy,
her.
fanboy.
And then the voice comes out. It sounds just like Scarlett Johansson.
Sounds just like her.
In the Spike Jonze film, her. So to
2 days before the ChatGPT 4.0 demo was released, Mr. Altman contacted my agent asking me to reconsider. Before we could connect, the system was out there.
Okay, so that was Scarlett Johansson. Not really. That was the AI voice of Scarlett Johansson, reading Scarlett Johansson's statement. Ryan, what do you make of all of this?
Has anybody ever been more busted than Sam Altman?
No. He busted himself.
Just completely busted.
Yeah.
He clearly...
But did he want to be busted? Is he intentionally testing the limits of the law in this case? Because you mentioned... Intercept, I think Sarah Silverman has a similar case to some of the media outlets that you guys have joined up with to challenge legally scraping all of your guys' work and doing machine learning based on it. The fact that he tweeted her after knowing for sure that Scarlett Johansson was going to publicly say, this is not consensual, I said no to this, you came out and used my voice, it seems to me like he's intentionally testing the limits and is doing a wink and a nod in a way that you used to see from Silicon Valley back when they felt like they were on a pirate ship in 2006.
Yes, that is a very good analogy, that that this is the old move fast and break things, which is, I think, a Zuckerberg line, which meant, don't worry about the rules, don't worry about the laws. We're just plow ahead. And what's meta concerning about this, no pun intended,
I was going to say,
is that
speaking of brazen,
Altman is the guy who we're supposed to rely on as the ethical mind and the ethical soul behind AI. Like, he's the one that's been promising us, trust me, I have the interests of humanity at stake here. I'm thinking about the future in ways that the grubby capitalists are not. Never mind that he moved his thing from nonprofit to for-profit.
And the regulators who just don't understand this.
Right, he's the one that we're gonna just supposed to trust with this. And now, given a very basic test of ethics, he just wildly failed. Like, this is a test that a third grader could pass. If you ask somebody's permission for something and they tell you no, are you supposed to do it?
Yeah.
A third grader would be like, no.
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't pass the third grader test. Well, first of all, it's not her voice. They hired a totally different voice actress to make that voice. It might sound a little bit like her, but this is someone who consented to giving her voice to Sky, the AI. Sky, the AI. And the fact that it sounds like Scarlett, I think what this is an easy way for Scarlett Johansson to be in the spotlight, right? All attention is good attention if you're in Hollywood. Well, really, I think a lot of people would like any kind of attention. But it just highlights to me how nobody really understands, I don't think, what this stuff is. That data's out there for scraping. You're not, like, the floodgates are open. The barbarians are running through the city. There's nothing that's going to stop this other than disinterest. We just have to be like, who needs AI? Let's go back to other technologies that we haven't maybe done everything with yet. Like, let's slow progress. We don't need that. And if there's no market for it, no interest, it'll go away. It'll change. It'll evolve. But it's only our disinterest that's going to disempower that kind of move. You're not going to regulate this stuff, not in any meaningful way. There's always going to be a way around the regulation. Well, speaking of copyright, let's look at another example before I pontificate too much.
Let's try something. I'll ask Suno to create a piece sounding like ABBA's Dancing Queen, a song that is easy to single out with a generic prompt, one that doesn't name ABBA or Dancing Queen. Let's see.
Sounds a lot like ABBA, but like really bad ABBA.
How is this possible? As we said, AIs are trained on millions of files containing meaningful examples. In our case, existing songs. But if AI gives us music that is painfully similar to copyrighted material, shouldn't the developers be sued for copyright infringement? AI's companies are already seeking a ruling putting the use of copyrighted songs to train their software into fair use territory. In other words, while AI-generated songs might include bits and bobs of existing songs, they are not exact copies. And using that material as a basis to create something else would not affect the market value of the originals. Having watched the first video of this series, you know that that's at least debatable. Even if AI companies lose this battle, they already have an alternative. They can start doing what Adobe has already done with art for its Firefly AI. Acquire music from professionals and use it to train their AI models. After spending tens of millions to develop and run this technology, on the verge of monetizing the whole operation, this would just be a minor annoyance.
Fact. See, that's a hot take right there. So even if they lose access to Taylor Swift, and I hope they do, please do not let Tay-Tay train these AIs. That would be bad. But they're just gonna hire professional musicians to write stuff that they have the rights to. And that's that. What are you gonna do about it? Alright. Let's see what we have next. Oh. That is not AI. That's human machine friendly interaction right there. See, you turn knobs, the sounds change. And that's kind of fun. So, my personal interest here, or my preferred outcome, is humans and machines partnering together like friends, little buddies. However, humans run the show. Okay? Not the AI. Not the robot overlords. We don't need any of that. Singularity, all this stuff taken over. That's nonsense. Humans run the show. Robots, which is like a fancy Eastern European word, just means like slave. Robots stay slaves. Humans stay in, mastering the robots. That could work pretty well. All right. Let's keep going.
Like that was amazing, wasn't it? It was an amazing little bit of Trump stand-up. Anyway, see, look, if they can guess correctly whether it's AI or authentic.
Trump lacked the courage to act.
So what did you think of this one? He didn't blink. Not at all, right? So that suggests it's fake. Blink. This one's actually real. How's that? And yes, he didn't blink for the whole 17.
He doesn't properly look like that anymore. Those eyes don't look right. What's going on? What's happening? What's happening in society? What's happening more broadly? I suppose, in a sense, the increasing hysteria and sense of dystopia, is it because it's something beautiful about to be born? Are we on some glorious precipice? Let me know in the chat. Like Miss Lee Lou USA and 75-4. A lot of people are suggesting that Joe Biden's on something a little stronger than Rumble's own 1775 coffee. And don't call me Russellberry Finn. I do not want that catching on. I don't even want to see it in the Awakened Wonder chat in locals. I'll be drinking a little bit of my own sweet Rumble coffee, 1775. What are you? Hold on a minute, wasn't this when you were starting to get rid of the British? Hang on a second, I'm not sure I like this.
Second clip. And when this actually surfaced about a year ago, there were conspiracy theories and people thinking that this had to have been a deep fake. The reason that we can tell that this one is not a deep fake, we really need to rely on the source. First of all, coming out a full White House video, giving a speech, and these were remarks that were delivered virtually. We're not only at risk of seeing things that are false and thinking that they're true, but actually seeing things that are true and thinking.
Oh, well, why don't you introduce a load more censorship then? Why don't you help us spot what AI is in case we all get so confused? Why don't you control the information that we get access to? Have you seen, is it Scott Adams? Who's the guy that created Dilbert talking to AI yet? Have you seen that? It's pretty funny. He's got AI to talk through an imaginary and fictitious scenario where deep state actors might be able to manipulate elections. We might show you a little bit of that in a second. Meanwhile, have a look at Antony Blinken being called a war criminal during
that just shows you that once we have really effectively deep faked politicians, people in power, that kind of thing, the smart thing to do is not entirely trust anything you see on a screen. So yeah, I just don't think we have a reason to trust anything we see on a screen, including this. I might be AI. I might be deep faked. I'm not, but I don't expect you to believe that just based on the logic I've set forth. So that was fun. Now let's look at our final video, which is just a good example of where this technology is headed, like how good it already is on the public consumer side, which means it's probably even way better in terms of the government military applications, like fake Joe Biden who doesn't blink ever.
And International Film Festival. But I actually want to kick things over to the brand new announcement from Google first. They released a brand new AI video generation tool called Veo. And they actually did it in collaboration with Donald Glover. So there's an interesting video over on their website where they basically talk about the creative process, and Donald Glover talks about the creative possibilities of using Veo on his projects. So there's a lot of reasons to like Google's new AI video generator. The first is the fact that it actually creates the video in 1080p. So a lot of other AI video generators out there actually produce results that are much smaller than HD, and they use an AI upreser to basically turn it into HD or beyond. But using the Google tool, the resolution is actually natively in HD, and it makes the results look pretty darn good. You also have the ability to upload an image and then generate a video from that image. So that has huge implications for storytelling because it allows you to be much more consistent than if you were just typing in a prompt alone. You also have the ability to extend video clips up to 60 seconds long, so you can get really long tracking shots and really long extensions to your AI video generations. The tool looks amazing, but don't take my word for it. You can check out some of the videos that have been generated using the tool by clicking the link below this video. They have this landing page with a few really incredible examples. For example, we have this shot of this cowboy riding on a horse. And of course, there are some issues with it, especially the legs seem like they get a little long there towards the end and the orientation seems a little off, but at a quick glance, you would really never know that this was AI generated. We also have this shot of a car riding down a residential suburban street. It looks very good. We have this other shot that's an extreme close-up of some chicken on a grill, and it looks realistic. I think this shot, more than any of the other shots, I never would know that this was created using artificial intelligence. There's a few other examples. For example, the shot of the Northern Lights, and we have this drone shot of a lighthouse, which is basically a bit of a comparison with the other drone footage that we saw from Sora just a few months ago. Google is also really encouraging people to use filmmaking terms whenever they use VO. So basically you have the ability to type in filmmaking concepts like tracking shots, handheld footage, sepia tone, and all sorts of other creative directions in which you would want to push your footage. You're able to communicate that using their tool. Now, they have a really cool example on YouTube that you can check out that is basically a 60-second demo of a single prompt. Basically, it starts out in a kind of Tokyo neon noir skyline, and it changes into like a racing scene with a car racing through the city, and it goes through a tunnel. And the entirety of the video was created with a single prompt. It's very interesting. What I also find very interesting is the fact that a lot of these advanced AI video generation tools actually use those long tracking shots as examples for how good the tool actually is. So for example, right here, we have Google's new AI video generator on the left, and then we have one of the music videos created using Sora, created by Paul Trillo on the right. And you can see that when we compare and contrast the two models, I'd say that the Sora generations look much more cinematic and real compared to some of the generations that we're seeing from Google. So would I say that Google's video generator will be as good as Sora?
It's hard to
Absolutely
argue
not. But the fact
that's
is,
not
most people
the
don't have
future of
access to
filmmaking.
either one of these tools at the moment. So the tool that gives access to the masses first, I think, is going to have a huge step forward when it comes to people adopting these advanced tools. And speaking of access, we actually have a direct link to the waitlist form to where you can sign up for access to Google's video generator. You'll find a link below this video. They're slowly rolling out access, but hopefully you'll get access very soon. I really thought it was cool because at the end of the interview with Donald Glover, he basically said that using generative AI, everybody is going to become a director, and he thinks that everybody should become a director. And we totally agree. Next up is an incredible announcement from OpenAI. Obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, you heard about OpenAI's ChatGPT 4.0 model that just released
your elementary school teacher, your kid's teacher, they should just quit, become a director. Everybody should do it. I mean, what could go wrong? I mean, you know? But everybody who should be a director should be a director. I guess I'd say that. Anyway, that's a little run through a bunch of fun, interesting takes on AI and some tools. I don't know if that settles the debate. Probably not. It's kind of a fun topic. So even though I think it's like, hey, let's just use this stuff for what it's worth. Keep humans up here and AI down where my other hand is. Humans here, robots here. And I think we'll do fine.
Thanks for watching. Pixel Talk will return.
Visit Tigler.com for more art, apparel, and things yet to be revealed.